Absolute value. What is absolute value? Absolute value is the distance from 0. So if you have an equation, y equals the absolute value, these vertical parallel lines mean absolute value. So the y equals the absolute value of -3 equals 3, because absolute value is the distance from 0. You can also work on equations involving absolute value, such as, let's try this one. Seven equals the absolute value of 3a minus 2. Are there two possible answers? Let's find out. The way you solve absolute value is you set up the equality equal to both this value and the opposite of this value. So we'd have 7 equals 3a. 7 equals 3a minus 2, and then we solve for a. Add 2 to both sides. You get 9. 9 equals 3a. Divide both sides by 3. So a equals 3. But you also have to consider that there is another possibility, because this value inside the absolute value could also be -7, because the absolute value of -7 is 7. So we have to take that into consideration. Now let me see if I can move this over just a little bit. Okay. So, whoop, I'm back. So we have to also acknowledge that it could be 7 equals the opposite of 3a minus 2. Notice that we put this in parentheses to make sure that we're looking for the opposite of this. And then we go ahead and distribute. Yeah, remember that. 7 equals -3a plus 2. Got it? Then we subtract 2 from both sides. We get 5 equals -3a. So a equals -5/3. So if I go back and I put in the -5/3 for a here, I will get a true statement, because that value, 3 times -5/3 minus 2, this value is -5 minus 2 is -7, but the absolute value of -7 is 7. Got it? I'm going to put up from the book the following problem. This is on page 105, problem number, I don't know, 36. Problem number 36. So if you want to follow along, just open your books to page 105, number 36. What happens when you only have a whiteboard, not a smart board, so you can just go to the next page. So here we go. The absolute value of 4 minus 2/7 x equals 14. It's number 36 on page 105. Remember, we're going to be solving two different things. One thing we'll solve is 4 minus 2/7 x equals 14. But also, the opposite of 4 minus 2/7 x. Sorry, I'm confusing myself. 4 minus 2/7 x equals negative 14. So we've got, let me, little adjustment here. There we go. All right, so the first one, we'll try this. We're going to subtract 4 from both sides, and we get negative 2/7 x equals 10. Then I'm going to multiply everything by negative 7. So I end up with 2x equals negative 70, and x equals negative 35. Well, hopefully you can see that. Yes, it's still on there. So that's one solution. X equals negative 35. The other one, we're still going to subtract 4 from both sides. Now we're going to get negative 2/7 x equals negative 18. Again, multiply through by negative 7. And we get 2x equals $126. That's 7 times 18. And then x equals 63. So we got these two answers as possible solutions to this equation. So we can check it out. I'm only going to do one of them. I'm going to do this negative one here. So we're going to have 4 minus 2/7 times negative 35. We want it to equal 14. Well, this is negative 10. This is 4 minus negative 10 equals 14. Well, 4 minus negative 10 is actually 4 plus 10. And of course, 14 equals 14. So absolute value problems, very important. You need to remember how to do them carefully. Thus ends Chapter 2 review. Except for one thing. I'd like you to turn to the end of the chapter. As soon as I find it. Page 116. Page 116. And I'd like you to do the following problems. Number 4. Number 22. And number 36 and 42.